The education revolution: Trump's plan to dismantle the Department of Education. In a groundbreaking announcement, former President Donald Trump has unveiled his plan to significantly reduce the role of the federal government in education, shifting authority back to the states. This move, which includes cutting the Department of Education's workforce by half, has sparked heated debates across the political spectrum. Supporters argue that decentralizing education will empower parents and state officials to make decisions best suited for local communities. Meanwhile, opponents fear that this strategy could strip essential funding from public schools, leaving millions of students vulnerable. With education reform now at the center of national discourse, the future of America's schooling system hangs in the balance. Donald Trump's vision for education reform revolves around reducing federal oversight and reallocating power to individual states. His proposal, described as a dream by his supporters, aims to remove bureaucrats in Washington and allow state governments, parents, and local school boards to shape education policies. Downsizing the Department of Education. The plan involves cutting the workforce by 50%, a move Trump describes as necessary to eliminate wasteful spending. State-controlled education states and local school boards would assume full control over curriculum decisions, teacher salaries, and school policies. School choice expansion. Trump advocates for increased funding for charter schools and voucher programs, allowing parents to select schools that best suit their children's needs. Reallocating federal education responsibilities. Programs such as Pell Grants and student loan management could be transferred to the Department of Treasury, while support for disabled students might move to the Department of Justice. Proponents of Trump's initiative argue that local control of education will lead to better outcomes. They cite the following benefits: increased parental involvement. With education policies set closer to home, parents will have a stronger voice in decision-making. Tailored curriculum. States can develop customized curricula that address regional needs, rather than following one-size-fits-all federal guidelines. Reduction of federal bureaucracy. Cutting bureaucratic red tape could improve efficiency and redirect funding directly into classrooms. Democrats and teachers' unions have strongly opposed Trump's plan, arguing that federal oversight is necessary to maintain education standards and protect disadvantaged students. Key concerns include loss of federal funding. Many public schools rely on federal funds to support programs for low-income students and children with disabilities. Widening educational gaps. Critics argue that without federal intervention, wealthier states and districts may thrive while poorer areas struggle. Potential job losses. The downsizing of the Department of Education could lead to thousands of job cuts in education administration. Supporters of Trump's proposal point to declining test scores and student performance as evidence of the federal government's failure in education. Reports show 39% of fourth graders are not proficient in math. 31% of fourth graders are not proficient in reading. Chronic absenteeism has surged, with 34% of students in New York missing 10% or more of school days. These alarming statistics have fueled the argument that the current system is broken, and that alternative approaches, such as state-led education, could provide a solution. The Department of Education has long been a point of contention between Republicans and Democrats. Established under President Jimmy Carter in 1980, it has since become a powerful entity, directing over $1 trillion in funding toward public schools. However, critics argue that much of this money is wasted on bureaucratic overhead rather than directly benefiting students. Trump's plan, if implemented, could reshape the political landscape. By reducing federal control, states with Republican-led governments may implement conservative education policies, while Democrat-led states may continue to emphasize progressive reforms. This divergence could lead to vastly different education standards across the country. Financially, the downsizing of the Department of Education may reduce federal expenditures, but it also raises questions about whether states will have sufficient resources to compensate for lost funding. The plan could also impact teachers' unions, which have historically played a major role in shaping education policy and securing benefits for educators. As the 2024 presidential election approaches, education reform is likely to be a pivotal issue. Trump's proposal has sparked fierce debates, but it remains unclear whether such a drastic overhaul will gain the necessary support for implementation. What do you think about Trump's plan to transfer education control to the states? Do you believe this will improve education quality, or will it create more challenges for students and teachers? Join the conversation in the comments below. Share your thoughts and let us know if you believe local control is the key to a brighter future for American students. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on this critical issue.